This week I really wanted to get the ball rolling, and I gave myself a giant to-do list. Some of that list got done, and, most of it didn't. But before we get into that, my name is Helper Wesley. I've made these games, and I make weekly devlogs. So the last thing I did with this game was make 3 enemies. I want 4 in the game, so I need to make 1 more. What I wanted to make was a demon character. Something that's actually kinda scary looking. The purpose of this creature specifically will be to attack the sanity or increase the stress of the family. One of the stats that's going to cause a game over. And since I'm going for this spoopy kind of look, where half of the things are scary, half of the things are cute, and the story is semi-depressing and semi-kind of comedic, I wanted the demon creature to look kind of scary. So my first thought was, like in Don't Starve, if you've played that game, where you have the eyes just out of screen in the blackness. I wanted something like that, so I started with red eyes and teeth, and so when the creature moves down onto the screen and makes a beeline for the train, you'll just see these eyes and teeth coming through the screen, and then when you bring your light towards them, the body will show up. So this was my first draft. I wasn't totally satisfied with the way that was working out. The red was really contrasting, and while it had the look I wanted, it didn't have the feel, if that makes any sense. So I tried again, this time using purple to make that like void-ish kind of connection. And this too was sort of in the direction that I was thinking, but the end result was kind of comedic. It kind of looked like a creature from Sonic the Hedgehog. My third attempt, I tried giving it multiple eyes like the spiders, with one big one in the middle. And one of my Discord members suggested making the eyes have a glow effect. So the eyes themselves have a little faded light coming from each one. And I think that was a good idea. It kind of shows that there's light coming off of the eyes that's reflecting off the black body. And so what I ended up with was this. I animated it with just the teeth at the bottom kind of moving back and forth and kind of clicking off each other as if they were whatever those teeth are called on insects. You know what I'm talking about, the big pincer teeth. I kind of wanted them to look and act like those. Because I think bugs are inherently scary, at least the way they look are inherently scary to us. They looked really plain coming onto the screen, so I decided to give them a particle effect behind them. Trying first to put it in the actual animation, and then I tried to use a particle effect to kind of spew out smoke behind them. And I wasn't really happy with how any of that looked. And when I asked in my Discord, they suggested an after image, since this is supposed to kind of look like a void-ish creature. And so using the particle effect in Gdevelop, I basically just plaster a blacked out version of the creature behind itself every 1 second, and I think I like how that looks. When I shared this version with my Discord, they responded with the creature looking kind of fat. He's a little chubby, like not so much scary as he is chubby. So I slimmed him down, and now he looks like this. And now that kind of looks like a mantis head, and I think that's what I was originally going for in my head, so I'm happy with that. That can stay. To get the game back moving again, I re-enabled all the forces being applied to the train and the scene. And as you can see when I zoom out, the spawners are on top of the screen, out of sight of course, and they have a random chance of spawning the demon into the scene. And now that I see the whole thing moving in motion and all of the creatures spawning, I've realized that the scene is going to be really frantic if I don't fix things. So I need to put a cap on how many creatures can be in scene at any one point in time, because I want the player to be going between collecting resources and saving the train. I don't want them to be completely stuck just chasing off enemies that are trying to attack the train, because then they'd never get anything done. Maybe as they get closer to the end of the game, I'll increase the spawn rate and get it to be like this level, but right now this is just way too frantic. Now this right here is what ended up sucking up most of the time I had for this game, and why I didn't get to the things I had planned to get done this week. You see the spiders up there? Yeah, they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to hit the wall, turn around, and go back. They're not supposed to do whatever it is I decided to put up on screen for them to be doing, because that's just not what spiders are supposed to do. I started by checking to see if I'd done something wrong with the logic, and that seemed sound. And then I checked collision boxes and the walls and made sure there was nothing going on with anything in the scene itself. I made sure they had gravity, I made sure all their forces were being applied properly, I made sure their origin point was centered, like, I did everything I could. Then I went to the Discord to ask for help. At this point, I was getting a little frustrated. I had been at it all night and I hadn't been able to figure out what was wrong, and posted it to the Gdevelop Discord and asked if they knew anything. And many of them used those exact same events that I was using, and they were working for them. I'll tell you right now, that was frustrating. I did everything. This should have worked, this should have worked, this should have worked, and I have no footage recording of all the other things I did. But I tried timers, I tried distance to the wall, I tried to get rid of the collision, and tried to record the distance to the wall a different way than collision. And then I tried to take out the platform behavior and add forces, so it wasn't being controlled by the platform behavior, it was being controlled by forces, and somehow even that wouldn't work. So I'm on day 2 now of this bug issue. I've done everything I possibly know how to do, so I've gone to the Discord again for help, and they're wonderful. The Gdevelop Discord server is just an amazing place. And they tried, they really, really tried, but nothing we did worked. So on the 3rd day, I decided to uninstall and reinstall the engine, because something could have gone wrong with one of the updates. Maybe something on my computer had messed up, I don't know. Because like I said, things were working for other people that weren't working in my game. And we all agreed that the events that I was using should be working. I even went so far as to directly copy what some people had made and put it in my game to use instead. And by the 3rd day, I was livid. I was so mad. Like, And it was at that point, after trying everything and getting help from the Discord and reinstalling, and just nothing would fix this issue. I've literally tried everything. Every variation, every tactic I know, I used timer. I even used a timer so that when they hit the wall, a timer resets, so there's a full 1 second before they would turn around again. There's supposed to be a full 1 second between each turn, and somehow this is still happening. Okay. Moving on. So, with the little bit of time I had left this week, I started planning for the stores and trading menu that you'd get in the cities. I planned on going for something very simple. It was going to have some colors, but very toned down colors, and I wanted to have features that sort of resembled the overgrowth and environment that you'd find in the subway. So the first thing I had to do was plan out the upgrade system that's going to be in the game. So every station will be able to be upgraded a certain number of levels, and they're all going to cost resources, and they're all going to be unlockable as you play the game. As well as a system where you can buy and trade resources. So if you play the game and only ever find coal, for example, you can sell the coal and then buy back something else that you need, like wood or foodstuffs or bomb parts or whatever. And when I was finished with the first draft of the shop menu, it looked like this. And sadly, that's all I got done this week. You can probably hear the frustration in my voice. I usually enjoy fixing bugs. When you manage to fix a bug, you get this like rush of euphoria, the high you get from figuring out a puzzle, if you know what I mean. But this week, just 3 days, just losing 3 days to a single bug, okay, still ranting, nope, gotta stop. That is all I got done this week. If you like this video, for some reason, and want to see more like it, maybe click on that subscribe button. And if you wanted to talk to me personally, the link to our Discord is down below. It's called the Gamedev Fireside, and it's a pretty chill place to hang out and talk about game dev. And if you decide to click on that link, then I will see you there.